I recently bought a Steam Deck in 2025, and I'm going to let you know if it was a good idea or a bad idea. Well, I've been pretty impressed with the Steam Deck so far. Now, I did buy it used off Facebook Marketplace for about $130, so for that price, I really couldn't pass it up. I've been in the market for a Steam Deck for quite a long while, but I never really wanted to pull the trigger on buying a new one. I didn't know how long I was going to use it, and I didn't know how often I was going to use it either. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace and decided to pull the trigger. It is the LCD model, so it's not the newest OLED edition, but it does exactly what I was trying to do, and that's basically just emulate my PS2 games. In the past, I used an Android console thing, and it worked good for retro gaming, but not anything more than PS1. Some PS2 games would work, but it'd be pretty laggy. So I've been really impressed with the PS2 emulation on the Steam Deck. I've been running Gran Turismo with an upscaler and some better textures. I'm not going to go into too many details about that because we can get into the weeds very quickly. I'm not going to go too deep in the weeds on emulation because one, I don't know that much about it, and there's other channels that do it way better than I do it. But I'm just going to talk about how the Steam Deck is and how it's been holding up and how I've been liking it. So for PS2 emulation, it's been working great. And also the Steam Deck itself has been running my Steam games very well. I've been running the Dark Souls games, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I'm a big fan of them. I'm currently on Dark Souls 3 right now. It's great to get on there and play for a few minutes here and there. That is the highlight of the Steam Deck. Nowadays, I feel like when I sit down and play a game on my desktop back here, I gotta put like an hour aside just to sit down and play a game. I don't know why. Maybe that's not the case for everybody, but for me, I feel like if I don't have at least an hour to sit down and game on my desktop, it's not even worth it because I'm not going to be able to actually game. But now that I got the Steam Deck, I'm able just to grab it, sit down for 10 minutes, and walk away and go do something else when something inevitably is going to come up in my life because I'm a busy guy. But that is the highlight of the Steam Deck, is just being able to pick it up 5 minutes and walk away, and your game is paused. You can walk away, come back in an hour, and pick it up right where you left off. I'm a big fan of that. Now I know you can do that with a desktop, but for some reason it just feels less accessible on my desktop to do that. Now, talking about desktop, the Steam Deck has actually replaced my gaming laptop. If you remember my other videos, I had a full-time laptop back here that was my daily driver. Well, I recently got this desktop back here, and now that's my daily driver because I no longer need to game portably. I have the Steam Deck. I never really liked the gaming laptop for portable gaming anyways. On battery power, it didn't work very well. So I'd always have to grab the big power brick and either a gaming controller or a keyboard and the mouse to actually be able to game on it. So anytime I would go to my in-laws or maybe go out on a trip, I would have a whole backpack full of gaming stuff. Now, I just take my Steam Deck. I don't even have to worry about grabbing a charger because I always have a USB-C phone charger with me. And I just can game whenever, wherever, and I don't have to grab a giant bag and, look like a dork having this whole gaming system with me. So that's been another game changer with getting away from the gaming laptop. All the games I want to play, basically, at least when I'm like out and about, I'm not going to, get on Discord with my buddies and play like CS or something on the Steam Deck. And I'm not going to do that on my laptop out in public because, trying to play CS in the public with like in your in-laws house or at your cousin's house is just a little bit stressful. My friends like to play competitively, so I'm not going to, put them through that stress. And I'm not going to be at my A game on a gaming laptop, usually sitting on the couch or something. Something single player basically is what I'd be playing on my gaming laptop when I'm out and about. And all those games I mentioned, I can play on my Steam Deck just fine. I can do it in the car and wherever. So I've been very impressed with that. I went on a road trip with my in-laws and it was about a 4-hour drive, and I sat in the back just playing Dark Souls 3, and it was great. It was pretty enjoyable, made the ride go a lot faster. Now, my favorite thing about the Steam Deck has been the ability to put it in the sleep, walk away for a day or two, come back, pick it up, and I'm right where I left off. So I've been playing Gran Turismo 4, and I'll be in the middle of a race or something like that. Something comes up, I gotta walk away from it, take the garbage out, deal with the dog, something. It's always something, right? And I pause the game, walk away, and next time I pick it up, I'm right where I left off. May that be in 5 minutes or 20 hours, it's right where I left off, and I really like that. It just makes being able to continue my gaming session feel way more accessible. Just play it 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and just set it down. It's a lot more accessible to me than coming in here, sitting down, firing up a game. And I don't know why, maybe that's just a mindset thing. I'm still right here, but I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. Also, the desktop mode seems to be working very well. Haven't used it too much, but I did navigate it when I was setting up my emulator, and I had to get on there and access some of my Google apps, so like web apps. And it's great to be able to have that desktop mode when I need to get on and send an email, or maybe my phone isn't working to download a file or something like that. I'm able to get on desktop mode and use it. I know it is a Linux system versus a Windows system, but to be honest, it seems to be pretty flushed out and working very well for my little test I did there when I had to use it. So all in all, I've been very impressed with this Steam Deck here. I do highly recommend it. if you can buy it used. I don't recommend buying the LCD edition currently in 2025 new. With the release of the Switch 2 coming out and the new Ryzen processors, I have a feeling there's going to be a Steam Deck 2 coming out at some point with some better hardware. So I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a brand new one. I would highly recommend buying a used one on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. I don't really trust eBay too much. I know they have good buyer protection, but I don't really use eBay that much. I use Facebook Marketplace all the time. You meet somebody in a public location like a Walmart, usually goes well. I've been using it for years and I've never ran across anything weird. I buy a lot of stuff on Facebook. I'm a little bit addicted to it. So all in all, I'm very impressed with the Steam Deck. I'm a little bit upset that I waited so long to get one, because I think if I would have purchased one before getting my gaming laptop, I probably would not have bought my $3,000 gaming laptop, bought a cheaper laptop just so I can do some video editing on the road, and then had my Steam Deck. And it would have been a way cheaper and a little bit easier to deal with on the road, because my gaming laptop is very power hungry. Also, as I mentioned, I have a new desktop back here. You know what that means? We're going to talk about specs, but not in this video. I'm going to talk about it in the next video. A lot of changes happened to this office between the last time we talked and now. Also, this desktop behind me is an all AMD system. My first time ever running a full AMD system. Actually, I haven't ran an AMD Ryzen processor at all ever, even though I've really liked them and I've wanted to. Every time I build a computer, I'm usually getting used parts off Facebook Marketplace. It just ends up being an Intel NVIDIA build most of the time. I usually don't build new because you lose a lot of money as soon as you build a new computer. You can usually pick up good, cheap used parts off Facebook, and that's why I usually go that route. That's what I did with this one as well. But this is a full AMD system. This is also the system I daily. So using all AMD system, I'm going to be running a test to see if AMD is as bad as they claim. If I run into any issues, I'm going to be documenting them on this journey. It's been a while and I haven't really run into too many issues yet. And I do edit all my videos on there. So I have this channel and my other channel, and I run Instagram as well. So I do a lot of video editing and I haven't really been running any issues at this point. So I've been pretty impressed with this AMD system at this point. We'll talk about that in a later video. And I upgraded my chair back here. Yep, no more cheap Walmart chair. I had that chair for about 1.5 years and it was killing my back. As somebody who works remote, I sit in here and I do a lot of video editing. I sit here, so I'm spending about 12 hours a day in this seat. So this new Secret Labs Titan has been a game changer. My back feels a lot better. We'll talk about that as well. A lot of changes happened. Can't wait to talk to you guys about them, but I'm gonna head out. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me. I will see you in the next video. If you want to check this video out right here, it's pretty good. And I will see you in the next one.